Okay, so now what I want to show is kind of how I go about putting in the piping. So I'm just going to lay this out because really all of this will end up being separated or modified and kind of refined quite a bit. So this is just for block out purposes. So I'm just going to use my curved 2 brush. And I'm going to just click and draw out a rough idea of what that looks like. Obviously that's not, if I hit D, let's get out of preview mode. Oh, and just change a couple of the settings in stroke. Turn on, not laziness, turn on curve, lock start. So that way I can actually just find where the start is. And I'm going to change this a little bit. You know, try to use a big brush. And I'm just generally trying to get that shape in there. Try to keep everything as flat as I can. I'm not worried that this is penetrating there, and it could be penetrating on the inside too. Not really worried about that. I just want to get the shape in with under curve functions you can hit smooth. It'll actually smooth out your curve a little bit too. So I just place it more or less where I want it to go. And then, you know, after I get the placement, I change my size. So it's a little bit thicker. And then I can actually put a taper to it too, because I like the taper. So under curve modifiers, turn on size, flip the horizontal, and then I'm just going to slide that focal shift to the right so it has a nice fall off, and then bring the end point up so it's about halfway. So it's going to start off fully as thick and then end up about half as thick as the start. And I just kind of have to eyeball things to keep everything straight. But again, this isn't like my final piece of geometry by far. It's just a block in. But I do want to get it as close as I can so that when I do refine it, I'm not messing with a whole lot. So when I'm happy with that, tap to accept. And I want to separate these into different poly subtools. So after I have this visible, I just hit split hidden, which will pull that split hidden. Did I hit delete hidden? Maybe I hit delete hidden. Okay. Split hidden. There we go. By hitting split hidden, it'll separate what's hidden into another polygroup. So we'll have those fans there. And the pipes all in a different subtool, and now I can just mirror this over Let's keep moving along and quickly add kind of the last things that I want to block in before I'm going to actually start polishing up everything. And that's probably the foot pedals and these foot pedals right here, and then kind of maybe these shocks. So let's do those foot pedals real quick. And this is nothing new, so feel free to just watch this next section, and then as we get into the polishing section, I'll pick back up on live recording. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, so that will finish the BlockIn portion of this for us. Now we're going to move on to adding in the details and customizing and kind of setting ourselves free of this rigid geometry to make some really cool custom hard surface shapes. But this more or less gives us a good feeling for what the bike is like and how, what the end result will be really roughly like if you zoom out. The shapes are really holding up. It's got a good flow to it. It's interesting. So we'll call this good for now for the BlockIn, and then we'll move on to detailing it out in the next video.